everyone. Welcome back to Geek Out with me. Today's guest is one of the most authentically free-spirited people I've ever met. Someone who truly lives by their own compass. So this is Ryoko, and what makes them
Hello.
special isn't just their deep dive into yoga philosophy. It's how they embody the ultimate freedom, doing what they want to do, whether people approve or not, whether anyone's watching or not. This is our channel's concept. And please remember, passion breaks language barrier. Today, we're exploring yoga philosophy with someone who doesn't just study it, doesn't just follow the Instagram reels, they live it. Let's see what that actually looks like. Okay, let's get right into it. Thank you so much for coming, Ryoko-san. Can you please give us a little self-introduction, please?
My name is Ryoko, and I teach yoga philosophy for those of people who want to become yoga teachers in Australia as well as in Japan. And I regularly teach asana classes around Darwin. And apart from yoga teaching, I'm a school teacher. I teach Japanese language.
I have this quick question. You said that you're teaching yoga philosophy, not the yoga, like physical practice. So most people think of yoga as just the physical poses or like the movement, the alignment of
Yes,
the movement, but
yes.
you teach philosophy. Is that like a lecture style?
Yes, a lot of people think yoga as an asana, physical exercise, physical practice only. But that asana is only small percentage of the whole yoga practices. Sage Patanjali, yoga sage, wrote a book called Yoga Sutras. And there are 196 verses on yoga. And he only wrote 3 verses which are about asana practices. The rest is all about how to live our life, to be enlightened ultimately, but to live it correctly, to live it purposefully.
Do you think that that's what most of people miss about
That's right.
yoga?
Yes. I think 95% of yoga studios around the world, they only teach asana practices. I actually don't know what percentage, but schools are only teaching asana or pranayama, breathing practices only. But yoga is really holistic. It should be taught philosophy, breathing practice, asana combined. That should be the way. So anyway, I'd like to introduce there's more to yoga, there's more to asana practice.
So this is like if yoga is the ocean, the poses are just like playing on the beaches. But actually, yoga itself has a huge
Yes,
depth
that's
and
correct.
also width.
Yes,
I
that's right.
understand.
Asana is wonderful. It really makes your body and mind strong.
Mm.
But why do you want to practice asana? What intention do you have to do
Yeah.
asana practice? If you practice asana because you want to look good, you want to lose weight, that's not the purpose of yoga. We practice asana to purify our body, mind, and senses. That's the true purpose of asana practice. When we practice asana on the mat, we sweat a lot. We do correct breathing. Exhalation is a purification process. Sweating is a purification process. We do bending forward, backwards, twisting. We go upside down. It's like we are put in a washing machine. It's a big purification process. And then when you are practicing, you have to pay attention what's happening internally. You have to be really focused. So when you're focusing on one thing, it's called mind impurity is called chitta mada. The mind impurity is being reduced. And mind purification as well. That's why you feel calm.
Yeah. So yoga is like as if you are in a washing machine. Focus on like which part of my body feel tension or how hard to keep the breathing. Is this what you mean?
I'm glad you asked me because the style I'm teaching and myself practicing is called Ashtanga yoga. There's always the same sequence. You do the same sequence over and over.
So you don't have the like a variation.
Not really. There's a 6 series, and the first series series, second series, third series, etc. Always the same sequence. So what people experience, there are postures you might be comfortable with, and there are postures that you don't feel comfortable with. The postures you like, the postures you dislike, but you have to do the same posture over and over, again and again, for the same length of breath, same amount of breath. Over time, the difference between likes and dislikes, the difference between comfortable, not so comfortable, is minimized. Then you can overcome physical duality, like likes and dislikes.
Yeah.
But also, what's so magical about yoga practice, overcoming duality, is also reflected outside of like a yoga mat. So in everyday life, nowadays, everybody think about what other people think about me, the society think about me. Their attention is really outward, and they get shaken by all those opinions, responses, or reactions. But because you're overcoming duality, physical duality, also it means mentally, if someone likes you or dislike you, or someone respects you or disrespects you, it's not going to bother you as much as before, because you practice this over and over on the mat. You are overcoming physical duality, and that's also reflected psychologically.
Totally makes sense. Yoga is not just like a physical practice and only happening in the studio, but the ultimate goal is to live
Yes,
with yoga, or maybe the mindset. And the mindset should
exactly.
be not reacting or not thinking about, like, not being self-conscious. But through the yoga practice, we recognize which poses I'm not good at. And then in the end, it's gonna be like just I don't know how to say, but a flat.
Very balanced.
Balanced.
Yes, and you mentioned that yoga practice is happening outside of yoga mat. That is absolutely right. My teacher often said real yoga practice should be happening outside of yoga mat, yoga studios, or yoga shara. He calls the yoga mat as a training wheel. The real practice happens outside. I just like to share something that we can start immediately. For example, cleanliness, contentment, being happy with what we have. It's easy to say you should be happy with what you have, but when we are grumpy, are we happy naturally? No. That's why Sage Patanjali said contentment. If you practice, you're gonna get good at. Because we all have negativity bias. We do 10 things, and then 9 things went well, and then only one thing didn't go well. And we always keep on thinking about
Our attention
one thing
goes
that
to
didn't
the
go
one
well.
thing.
This negativity bias, our brain is programmed like that way.
That's
like this
how
way.
our brain works, because otherwise we can't recognize potential danger. That's how our brain works to survive.
Ah,
If we didn't pay attention what we don't have, we may get into trouble. But in this society, we don't have any risks to be eaten by other animals or things like that. So
yes,
that's why our brain kind of overreact to the
yes,
society, which is kind of much safer nowadays.
right.
Yoga is aiming to not like adjusting, but you guys offered how we adjust our brain, like original one, into the modern times. That's what I see.
Both are important. Yeah, I see.
So I would like to ask about your personal experience as a yoga instructor. So how did you get into yoga philosophy? Was there a specific moment or teaching that made you think, oh, this is something I need to explore deeper?
I was naturally flexible because I was a cheerleader back in Japan.
Yeah.
So yoga asana practice, I was very capable. You like anything you are good at, right?
Absolutely.
So you want to know more. You naturally drawn to the subject. What's there? What's left for me? And there was a specific book that really changed my life. It's called Bhagavad Gita. It's a spiritual textbook. Since I discovered this book, I was looking for the teacher for me, because spiritual textbook, yoga philosophy book, it's not something that you study by yourself. You study with right teacher. So I was looking for my teacher for 10 years.
Oh,
Traveled
wow.
to India many times and couldn't find. So I traveled to Sri Lanka, Australia, Japan. 10 years. I couldn't find a teacher. So I gave up. I came back to Darwin. I just stopped my search. There's no teacher for me. And then one day I was attending a yoga class as a student, and there was a teacher who was looking exactly like me, Japanese lady, very ordinary look, very similar age. But as soon as she started chanting opening prayer, I was closing my eyes and putting my hands together. She sounded like a real Indian person, so perfect. I knew because I have traveled to India many times. Who's this lady? Maybe she's my teacher. But anyway, I didn't ask, but I just kept going to her class. Maybe after 6 months, I was very distant from her because I respected her very much. But she started talking to me. Would you like to have a cup of tea with me? Maybe we can go for a coffee or something. After that, we became very much close friends. We spent a lot of time discussing a lot of yoga philosophy and share things in common, etc. One day she said to me, Ryoko, I would like you to meet my teacher. He's in the middle of nowhere in India, and I met my teacher after 10 years. He was a yoga philosophy teacher. When I met him for the first time, when I heard his chanting, tears came, and we students live with the teacher and see how teacher lives. We students help out teacher and teacher's family with house chores, looking after house, cows, cooking or cleaning, etc. And then you learn orally from the teacher, yoga philosophy, everything.
What impressed me is you've been looking for the right teacher for over 10 years and traveled all over the world.
I was too eager. When you just surrender, then maybe it's the right time.
I did pretty much the same experience in Australia. As a psychological counselor, I could call him teacher, but not for a life teacher. He was a teacher for broken heart, but that's it. Back then, so when I had a really bad heartbreak with my ex-boyfriend, in Japanese, the one piece of straw that I grab when I'm drowning. I don't think that works in English, but you know what I mean. He was a like emergency saver thing. And after that, I learned from couple teachers, like business teacher or another counselor, or I even joined some industrial counselor courses or things like that. But I couldn't find, okay, he's my teacher or she's my teacher. Of course, I learn a lot from them and I respect them, but it doesn't mean this person is my role model. And then when I came to Australia, I felt like this might be my last chance. If I couldn't meet anyone like what I'm imagining in my head, it might be the time to give up, like starting the surrender.
Similar.
Yes. Then I met the mentor. I'm still being in a mentorship with him. So that's why I
Very
really
similar.
understand. Yeah, the
I
surrender.
can understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's surrendering to something great or universal energy. That is also a yoga practice. It's called Ishvara Pranitana.
Oh, okay.
And that's a very powerful yoga practice. So you see, you don't have to be able to be flexible or strong to do yoga. I, as a yoga practitioner, especially I'm now sitting in a teacher's seat, so I should be living yogic way. My life should be reflecting yoga practice every time, 24 hours. That's what my teacher said to me. Don't be a part-time yoga practitioner. Doesn't necessarily mean you should be practicing on the mat 24 hours, but how to live life in a yogic way.
I see.
My teacher, he has many roles in his life. He's a father, he's a temple priest, and he's a community leader, and he's a lecturer. But he always said he only have one role. He's a yoga practitioner through many roles. Myself, I'll be teaching in primary school from late January this month, and then I should be practicing yoga through my role as a Japanese teacher. And it doesn't necessarily mean teaching children how to do tree pose, not like that, but kindness, cleanliness, how to be kind. For example, truthfulness is one of the most important yoga practices called satya, truthfulness. Satya. In yoga, truthfulness means truthfulness through your words, truthfulness through your action, truthfulness through your thinking, all three matching, then you can say truthfulness. But what are we doing? We are like saying truthfulness maybe, but you're thinking something else. Or you do actions that's not the same as what you are thinking or what you are saying. It's not matching. That's one of the beautiful practices that keep reminding us what it means by truthfulness. It should be through words, actions, and thoughts have to be all the same. But in Australia, in primary school, the teachers teach children like this. Whatever you say through your mouth, it has to come through three gates. First gate is it kind? The second gate is it true? And the last gate is beautiful. Is it necessarily?
I love it.
Because
Yeah.
we say so many things, unnecessary things, right?
Ladies, are you listening? Absolutely. Especially for like us, talkative people. We sometimes talk from the emotion that could hurt someone very badly.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Maybe this could be the last question. If someone's curious about yoga philosophy but doesn't know where to start, what would you tell them? What is the one thing you wish more people understand about yoga?
Our life is full of events, breakups, separation, emotions, hatred, jealousy, relationships, losing job or illness, disease, accidents. So many things happen in our lives, and we are shaken by all those external events. But studying yoga philosophy makes you so deeply rooted that you're not falling down easily. You can stay strong and you can make the right decision. What is important, what is not important to you, what is right, what is not right, even your life purpose. A lot of people want to know their mission or purpose in their lives.
No.
But if you practice yoga, if you study yoga philosophy, you don't need to go in and ask someone, what's my mission, what I should be doing in my life. You just know. Your heart tells you what your mission is. So that is the beauty.
Let me just double check. We don't have to travel around the world to find the right teacher for 10 years.
No.
Okay,
No,
good
no,
to hear
no,
that.
no. And I'm happy to help. So I don't know, they can contact me by Instagram or Facebook, and then I will direct them to the right direction. I don't know, maybe make recommendations to teachers in Japan, etc.
Yeah. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much, Ryoko-san, for taking us beyond the mat and into the deeper philosophy of yoga. You've
Thank
shown
you.
us that yoga isn't just about what our body can do. It's about how we see the world and how we live our own life. So,
Yeah, that's
guys,
so
what
good.
did you think? Let us know in the comments if this changed how you think about yoga. And if you're interested, just contact her, not me, because she said to me, I'm a yoga teacher, but I'm more like life coach. I'm happy to help to build up someone's life. But if you need more yoga thing, and if you feel Ryoko might be my right teacher, I'm really happy to offer this place as an entrance. So don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more passionate, maybe even crazy people may call, sharing what they love. And remember, when you are truly passionate about something, language barriers just disappear. Thank you for watching Geek Out with me. See you next time. Bye bye.